So for the first round of our new colour, we are simply just going to snip this yarn. If you were going to work stripes, don't snip that. You can carry your yarn up on the inside. And then we're going to get our new ball of wool. So out the bottom of the ball, should be just here somewhere. Oh, there it is. This is such a nice edgy mustard. We've called it curry because they come in being called 89, and I'm not having that. So we're just going to go into the next stitch and give yourself a decent tail and just hold on to that tail over the back, and away you go, knitting your new colour. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll be back when I have come right round and show you that nifty little seamless colour change trick. So I've got 2 more stitches to go of this round. I'll knit these, and then the little trick in the system is, instead of knitting the first stitch of this round, I'm going to get you to slip it purlwise. And what that means is, instead of going in knitwise like that, as if you were going to knit it, you're going to grab it as if to purl it. And what that does is it keeps this front leg, which is the right leg, to the front, and so we're not twisting our stitch. So just tug on that wee end if it's getting loose, but we'll just slip it from the left over to the right. And then we're going to carry on knitting. And what that does is it doesn't knit this, so it becomes not as tall. And then it just makes that gap, it makes it so there's not a step in your colour change. So just to go over that, you always slip the first stitch of your second row of colour. Pull that wee lighter tight, then we have a nice seamless colour change. And it's even more noticeable when you have a couple more rows. So that's an awesome trick to get into if you, like, I feel like there's a little secret society of awesome knitters that only let you know their tricks once you are good enough. But I truly believe that if you know these tricks from the start and you have gorgeous polished finished items, you'll love the process even more. So I'll see if I can whip round this row while we're having a chat about not feeling like you have to earn the rights to all these special wee tricks. And there's nothing worse than when you're learning to do something and you have to go find these little tricks on YouTube or whatever. I think it's nice to have the confidence to do these things from the start. And I often used to look at knitting especially and be like, man, how'd they do that? Like on my Charlie Jacket online course, and the pattern teaches you how to do a slip stitch edge. And when you're first learning, all these words sound like gobbledygook, but you know, it's just really nice polished finishes. It just makes your work look so nice. Spend half your life figuring out how everybody did it. So this is the colour I'm going to finish my hat in. And I'm going to work my way to 5.5 inches of height before I start working the crown decrease. So I'm just about around there now. and I'll come back once I've got a fair bit of this stocking stitch. So we've got stocking stitch here now where we've got all knits facing the front. But once I've got a bit more worked, I want to talk about gauge a little bit. So I'm just here now, this is that little slip stitch, but now I'll just knit it normally. So we just slip it on the very first stitch of the second row of colour, and that's all you need to do. Get out of the way. Cool. We'll sew that little gap. We'll sew that end up later and it'll be a wee bit tidier. Yeah, I'm going to leave you here to work the body of your hat in whatever way you wish, striping wherever. So if you're changing colours multiple times, you can run your colour up or you can cut your yarn, just whatever you like. If I'm only doing a couple of stripes, I prefer to cut my yarn so that there's not too many ends to sew in, and I don't like super striped stuff anyway. So it's totally up to you. I'm not too phased by having a few more ends to sew in. If you run your yarn up, you'll get little, it's good to twist them round as you run them up, just so they keep each other secure, like twist them around like that as you get there. But just have a play around and see which you prefer.